Ladies and gentlemen, thanks. It's good to hear that you're still in conversation. So it has been a packed day, and I hope it is a fruitful day. And I hope you have the ammunition for better conversations tomorrow with marketing, sales, finance, IT, and HR. To wrap it up, so I want to close up. I started this morning with the evolution of S&OP, and we have created a lot of illustrations. And you see some illustrations with banners here, pop-up banners here about S&OP related stuff translated into illustrations. And this is about storytelling and to explain what we're doing. So in 2018, we wrote an article, a management article about we have to get from S&OP to IBP. And I heard it before, and basically you have to involve the CEO. He's not playing along, but he knows what kind of game is being played. So basically, you need leadership and CEO involvement to make it work. And finance and strategy should be aligned. And what I see a lot of companies don't have a real business strategy, let alone business strategy and supply chain aligned. Not a discussion, but basically, we are in that area. So that's one thing. So moving on, 2019. The rise of data science, also mentioned earlier, data science, there's a lot of data, big data. Now we transferred from big data to data science, and now it's all AI, .ai, everywhere. But basically what we wrote, then you have your budget, your EBIT, and you have to get this pot of gold you want to reach to. And you are standing on a cliff and you have to jump to get there, and there are some gaps. And basically, what we see right now, and that's part of the discussion we had with Bram and the three ladies, how do we make sure that we reach the budget? And there's a lot of data, pocket of data, how do we get there? And how do we make it work and to close the gap? So that's what we wrote in 2019. Moving on, in 2020, the self-driving car was translated in the autonomous supply chain. Are we getting there? There are tools around, but are they really implemented? That's a dream. That's what we see right now with the Tesla, with the taxis in California and San Francisco, bumping into another car, and now they are prohibited. The driverless cabs in San Francisco. So the point is, do we get there? Yes, the technology in theory is around. Is it stable enough? Do we trust it? So basically, can we have autonomous supply chain? On the other hand, we discussed it at the table. There will be a shortage of supply chain planners. So, and we heard it earlier this morning by Jonathan Kyle. So he said, 80% of the overrides by demand planners is wrong. So basically, we have to automate some planning. So maybe we won't get a purely autonomous supply chain planning. I don't believe in it. We have, exceptions, and we have to discuss it. And basically, AI is good at finding out correlations, but AI is very bad in causality. And that's the thing. I don't read enough about it about AI. So yeah, correlations, yes, AI can do that. Causality, you need people. And then in 2021, I created this tower, and I had mentioned before, we won't get into it. You have different layers, call it what you like, but in the end, it is not one size fit all. It is not one total system to make it work. So that's what it is. And now we're getting into 2022 and 2023. So this is the hype cycle of Gartner, and this is the last year one. But I, highlight, and Gartner are doing a fair job. Not everything is spot on, and sometimes they are confusing the world. But I like the hype cycle. Why? Because you see some evolution of things happening. So supply chain segmentation on the right hand side is on nearly the plateau of productivity. So we're getting there, but I speak to a lot of companies. Supply chain segmentation, one supply chain doesn't fit all. We have still work to do on that sense, and we discussed it, and I heard it, in the presentation today. S&OP is a decision-making process, and you need to have this decision-making process for different kind of supply chains. And what Danny was saying this morning, all kind of maturity, all kind of different kind of levels of maturity and different kind of supply chains. In some areas, you have to be very advanced, and in some areas you don't need to. In the end, it's about supply chain segmentation that's important. So that we're getting there. Predictive analytics, that is basically forecasting with some twists. That's now in a trough of disillusionment. So a lot of talks, but a lot of failures. Prescriptive analytics is what we should do. That's basically scenario planning, optimization in that area. And machine learning, it's still. We have to reach the bottom of the trough of disillusion to get there, according to Gartner. And I see machine learning, yes, people are asking me, where is machine learning applied in supply chain? Basically in demand planning and forecasting. And why is that? Because you have a homogeneous set of data, sort of. Whereas in supply planning, it's different kind of sources of data. It's very hard. So first, machine learning, you have to have basically ideally one set of data, and then you can do something, and then the computer can learn. And with the on an SKU level, you can do the statistics. But look at AI. We're even not at the peak of inflated expectations. So what my son is saying to me, everything is .ai nowadays. He's 16 years old. What is it now? So he's mentioned it. Everything is AI now in business, and we're not even there yet. So that's my point. So be careful to jump on the bandwagon of AI, because a lot of inflations, and be careful to spend too much money and time and energy on it, because a lot of failures to happen still before we get at the end of the trough of disillusionment, before we get to the productivity part. All right, last year, same time, we wrote about next generation planning. So most of the existing planning systems in use fall short in factoring unpredictability and uncertainty. I mentioned that. And so you have to find supply chain software supporting scenario planning. I do believe it, better be prepared. So, if you have your scenarios in place, and then you see, the future is happening, then you are better prepared. So scenario planning is in my opinion, essential. Of course, you have your S&OP. Are you able to adapt to it and respond to that? So that's what needing for my opinion. So scenario planning is absolutely necessary, because all things could happen next year. Look at the turmoil in the world. So basically, you need to have different scenarios. And also, you have your budget, but in the end, you move forward. Things could happen, and you should better be prepared. Now, moving up to this year, and now Nicole Miara already explained what she did last year with Laura's area in California, visualizing the river of demand. And she has taken a picture of what she has created in this exercise. And this is the one by Nestle. And Nicole has a more fancy, crisp blue lakes of the Swiss Alps. But this is the Nestle part, and it looks like water, and it ends like chocolate or coffee in the end. So that's how they put it. So basically, and my plan is to do this kind of exercise also in the Netherlands, to do similar stuff. Basically, what it explains, where is actual demand coming from? And you have promotions, you have introductions, you have certain contracts. Maybe you have the white label. Anyway, where is demand coming from? And if you do this with salespeople, and also maybe financial people or marketing people, take a broader bunch of people to do this exercise and actually visualize where is the demand coming from. And this is what it explains. There are a lot of details in it. You have to blow it up to read it actually. But basically, and you'll get the slides. But basically, this is an exercise to get all your cross-functional people from sales, marketing, and finance, maybe IT and HR on board, and let them be a part of it. So this is it, and it's quite funny that this bad master data, and you can do really storytelling suited to your company, and maybe you need to have an illustrator to make it more fancy. So this is what I'm going to do, and basically this is what the theme of my management article of this year about S&OP is. It's outside-in planning, so you need external data to get a better grasp of what's happening and to improve your forecast. So basically, the visualization of the river of demand enables that. What kind of data do you have? And I got a conversation with a coffee manufacturer. And it's like, Nielsen data is 6 weeks old. What can we do about it? Is it useful? If so, how? And does it tell us something, or is it telling something different that we already know? That kind of stuff. And it's all in the world of marketing and sales, and it helps to put it somewhere in this visualization. So you have your promotions, and your canal of steady demand. Like in the pet food area, you probably know how many volume you want to produce because the dogs are eating anyway. So this is quite steady, I can imagine. And you have all kind of levers to pull if you can interact with this demand. And so you have your factories and you have your distributors and so forth in one. So this is what I suggest, use external data, but basically find out first what's leading to demand, and maybe beyond that, what can lead to this data. So there is more what we have done on S&OP, and I would like to thank you for coming over, and I hope you like it, and I hope you have a lot of stories to take with you to your office tomorrow and beyond that. So make sure that you connect, and hopefully you can summarize what we have been saying today. I hope it's worthwhile that you are coming here. So you will get the slides. We'll make a best of, so you get the best of slides, so you can show to your colleagues what you've been doing, what you've been discussing, so taking notes. And we have created an S&OP self-assessment. It's online. So basically, with some questions, you can see what kind of S&OP process you have, and it's related to sports. So you can tell it to your colleagues, are we team players or not? What kind of play are we doing? That's on one hand. And on the right-hand side, we created with the Involvation last year an S&OP software map. It's not about software, it's about the process. Basically, it explains in a 2-pager what S&OP is. And, we're moving on to IBP, and S&OP is also something next. But this is available. You can download it. It's helpful, and I hope you like it. And I'd like to thank you again, and I would like to spend some thanks to the partners. Without them, we couldn't organize it, and I would like to thank you. And I think you, as a partners, I hope you have pitched what you want, and I hope it resonates to the audience. I hope, and I think so, because we need tooling, we need support. So with that, I'd like to wrap up, and I would like to thank you, and let's have some drinks. Thanks.